In Venezuela, the drinking water and sanitation service has been provided most of the time by state-owned enterprises. In 1943, the National Institute of Sanitary Works, INOS, was created, and regional supply systems were constructed with sources, pipes, pumping stations, and networks, which made planning and building possible. Everything worked without major problems until the 80s, when the contradictions amongst the National Institute of Sanitary Works led to its institutional collapse. In 1999, this enterprise was abolished and the new operating companies were created with the Hidrológica de Venezuela, Hidroven, as the parent enterprise. A decade later, President Hugo Chavez decided to maintain the business structure, but introduced a series of changes that led to the sector's decline. Since 2000, the managers of water enterprises are chosen accordingly to their loyalty to the regime. The highest positions have been occupied by the military. Freezing of fees, the bad execution of multilateral credits, and the elimination of outsourcing are decisions that have caused chaos in the water sector. Staff training and improvement programs have been eliminated. Personnel's working conditions provoked a wave of mass resignations. As of the year 2000, the foreign partners have obtained privileged contracts to design and build works in the sector with a poor benefit-cost ratio for the country. One of those projects, the TUI-4 system, consisted in the construction of a dam with capacity to supply more than 5 million inhabitants of the Miranda, Vargas, and Capital District. The plan was for it to be ready by 2012, but in 2018 it remains paralyzed and taken over by unions. It is estimated that 5 years of uninterrupted works are needed to put it into service. Another project was the Acueducto Bolivariano de Falcón. This aqueduct sought to provide drinking water to more than 600,000 people. Its construction began in 2003 and should have been ready by 2006. But 6 years later, the Chinese company questioned the feasibility of taking water from the planned place, and the locals continue without the service. The development of housing plans without technical criteria since 2010 increased the demand on networks unable to meet the need, which generated shortages and disorder. While between 1972 and 1998, 72 reservoirs were created in Venezuela, from 1999 to 2018, only 2 were built. The decline of the service became evident. Water coverage went from almost 90% in 1998 to 60% in 2011. Treatment capacity decreased from 40 to 27% in the same period. The supply is also poor. In 39.2% of households, water does not arrive continuously, which is why demonstrations have increased. In 2018, the lowest coverage in history is recorded, and quality is a calamity. Since they are prey to bad decisions of the executive, the enterprises in the sector are in a tailspin. It is urgent to free the state-owned enterprises from corruption, make them transparent and efficient to guarantee the good provision of the water service, essential to overcome poverty.